Hello, this is Roland. Today I want to talk about meditation. I want to tell you about my new easy meditation and why you should give it a try. Our problem in life, for most people, 99% of people, is that we are too reactive. You go out in the world, you get upset. Then you say the wrong thing or do the wrong thing. Then you retreat into your mind. And in your mind, you try to rearrange the past, okay, so it's more to your liking. Or you just keep thinking about what happened. Why did she say this to me? Why did he say that to her? And I said this and she said that, like that. Why did she did this to me and she did that to me? See, that sort of thing. Or you try to plan and scheme for the future. Trying to say, well, next time I'll say this, and when she says that, I'll say this, and I'll get even with her by saying this. See, like that, right? And then you go out in the world and do something. Well, it could be as simple as the next time you see that person, then saying what you had planned to say, and now it comes off all wrong because the timing is all wrong. It's not appropriate for the timing or anything. There's no love in it. It's all wrong. Makes things worse. Then you hide in your thinking again. Or it can become elaborate, where you say, I'm going to get a master's degree, I'll show them, I won't be intimidated by them. So then you get a master's degree. See, you could spend 2 years, 3 years working on it and spend thousands of dollars just to prove to somebody, or you see what I mean? It's a compensation, big compensation. But it can be as simple as you go out in the world and there's traffic. You get upset at the traffic. Somebody's driving slowly in front of you, you get upset. See, the light turns red, you get upset. You get to the office and there's an extra work for you, you get upset. Angry, resentful. See, your child calls and has some issue, you get upset. Somebody says something behind your back, or maybe they don't even say anything, but you think they said something, you get upset, get angry, become resentful. See? Somebody else gets a raise, you don't get one, you get upset. You see what I mean? So it's just endless. Upset, 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 upset. And then you even cultivate getting upset by, yelling and screaming at ball games. Yelling and screaming at ball games. You get upset. See, we wouldn't say exactly upset, but too excitable. And you get so into the ball game, if your team loses, then you can get all bummed out, see. Or you become totally nervous, and tense from being upset all the time. So then you drink, see, or take drugs, or smoke marijuana or something. Okay? Learn to artificially not be upset. So then you hide from reality. Play video games, text, surf the internet, watch movies, or get lost in your daydream world. See? To hide from reality, where you're increasingly more and more subject to reality, being dominated on all sides by reality. Soon everything dominates you. Why? Because it can upset you. Everything from your wife to your husband to your boyfriend to your barking dog to a barking dog to your boss to a co-worker to traffic to the weather, anything. See? Well, that's not good. Think of all the stress it has upon your organs and glands and everything. It's just not good. But the worst part of it is that you're not living as a human being. Human beings were intended to be creatures of love and understanding. You know that when you were a little child. If somebody had understanding, you knew that was good. See? Maybe you never knew anyone that did. Or you saw a movie, somebody had understanding, or you read a book where somebody had kindness, understanding, courage. Maybe it made you cry. It was so sweet to see it. When you went to your parents with some issue, they didn't have understanding. They had impatience or anger or blame. See? So you resented your parents, which is another reaction, a mistake. So what are we going to do about all of this? Well, you have to start living like a human being, where you go out in the world and don't get upset. You remember Bugs Bunny and Yosemite Sam in the cartoons? Bugs Bunny never got upset. He was always calm. He was master of the situation. He was in control of the situation. Yosemite Sam was always getting upset and reacting and overreacting. Okay? Same thing with Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. Roadrunner never got upset. Just went about his business. Never got upset. Wile E. Coyote, first of all, he was up to no good. But secondly, he was would always backfire on him. See, served him right. So human beings are supposed to have honor, dignity, okay, and we're not supposed to get angry. Well, there is such a thing as righteous anger, if you see an injustice in the world. But, the anger, resentful anger, no, we're not supposed to. We're supposed to be patient, calm, wise, especially fathers, supposed to be that way. Wise, long-suffering, kind, courageous. All the beautiful virtues is what we're supposed to have as human beings. And so if you get upset, you go out in traffic and it upsets you. Your child has a question, it upsets you. A little something happens at work and it upsets. Somebody looks at you in a certain way and it upsets you. Then you have no self-control, and you're not living as a human being was meant to live. So you need help. Okay, you need help. First of all, you have to see that that's the case, and secondly, you have to see that that the reason why all of this has started. First of all, you weren't taught properly. Perhaps you weren't taught properly. No one set a good example for you. Everybody else was getting upset, but even more than that, the main thing is it's an attitude problem. You're egotistical, selfish, self-centered, mean-spirited, don't have any love. You have what seems to be love. You're always doing nice things for other people so that you'll look good in their eyes, and then you can fool yourself into thinking you're a nice person or fool them. But the truth of the matter is that you're not living as a person ought to live. It's that simple. I was listening to a radio program. I believe it was Charles Price, I think his name is, a minister from Canada. Had the most interesting program. He called it the Gospel of God radio program. I am very close to my intuition, close to conscience, close to reality. That's where you need to be. Anyway, what he was saying, I'll tell you briefly, and that he was saying that if you read Romans, for example, the Epistle to Romans, Paul's Epistle to Romans, basically it shows that God is righteous. We know that, don't we? We know God is righteous. We know that he sometimes has a no-nonsense side. We know that. It says in the Bible, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. We know that. But we also know that he's compassionate and that he's kind and long-suffering. Okay? We know those things. See, he's righteous. Okay? Righteousness means standing for what's right, but with a twinkle in your eye. Have you known someone like that? I have. He stood for. I had a teacher. I had an English teacher, very nice lady, older lady, I guess. I was at the time I was like 13 years old. I'm guessing she might have been 60. She was no nonsense. And the first class, she said, Roland, you have a lot of ability, but you're not using it. And I expect performance out of you. That was it. She meant business. And she did. She was tough. But you know what? She had a twinkle in her eye. See, it's what they call tough love. Guess what? I did good in her class. Did well in her class. Did good. She did well in her class. Okay. So, but here's the point. Human being. Now remember it says in the Bible, human beings were created in the image and likeness of God. So now do you see that human beings are supposed to be righteous, to have courage, honor, conviction, to stand for something, to have honor, but also kindness, patience, long-suffering, understanding. See? All these beautiful, beautiful virtues. That's the way we're supposed to be. Not pretending to be, but really that way. Well, okay, so something's gone wrong. Something's gone wrong. So how are you going to get started to fix it? I recommend you get the meditation. It's just a little technique. You can learn it in 5 minutes. Listen to the recording for a couple of days. Help with listen to my voice for a couple of days. Then you'll have it on your own. Then you'll have it for life. All it does is helps you to come back to reality, back to the moment, back to now, to the eternal now. The birds are singing, not lost in your fantasies and negative thoughts, but here, okay? And when you are here, you're also closer to intuition, what you know in your heart, wordlessly, okay? Closer to intuition. You're not going to find answers in your intellect or your fantasy world. You're going to find real answers when you're close to your intuition, which is from God. It's your God-given intuition. There's much I could say on the subject, and I have said much, written a lot of books. You don't need the books right now. What you need is the easy meditation. So, it's going to be on the screen in just a moment where to go to get it. Give it a try. It's free. My name is Roland.